welcome to a new episode of We Talk. Today's episode, which I think is going to end up being a regular thing, I don't know if it's going to be once a month or not, but I'm going to call it Behind Achieve, because every Achieve episode has a story that you might not actually see. Like, there's a lot that gets cut out of Achieves. Going after achievements can take up to like hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Like, for example, Mile High Club took me 7 hours to actually get. When Pigs Fly was 6.5 hours, Polyamory was 6 hours, Wax Off was 5 hours, and obviously all these episodes that you see, you don't see the full hours. That's why they get cut down to the short amount of time that they get cut down to. But I like to keep them between 4 minutes and 6 minutes, and I'll go a little bit over 6 minutes, closer to sometimes even 7 minutes. But like I said, there's a lot that gets cut out because 7 hours getting cut down to 2 episodes that are worth like 4 or 5 minutes is pretty crazy. So I'm going to go through episodes 1 through 5, and these are obviously the first few episodes that I ever did. They were all pretty much filmed at almost the same time, within the same week, I believe. So episode 1 was Halo 4 with the achievement I Thrust at Thee. This was literally the first ever achievement I ever went after. It was actually supposed to be more of a test run. It was actually a successful test run. I went after the achievement. It was actually one match. I only had to play one match. And I just went after it, was just thrusting in players. And I had to switch up my loadout, obviously, so I had like the thrust boost. And I was just swinging, like just mailing people. The achievement was supposed to have get a kill right after using Thrust Pack in the Majestic DLC matchmaking for Halo 4. So I kept thrusting after players, just any player that I saw, and it actually had the old style of the way I edited videos with sound bites and the way I actually had the graphics so that it would come up every time I said a word, the subtitles more or less. But after I was done with that, I actually went and filmed 3 other achievements. The other 2 though were supposed to be episode 2 of Achieve. But because they went so fast, I didn't want to include the achievements. I didn't want to include 2 achievements in a single episode because one achievement I went after was 10 minutes long. So I was like, all right, well, I can't edit that. Let me go after another one. So I went after another one, and that was also 10 minutes long. So I was like, well, that was ridiculously easy. Off the top of my head, I don't remember what they were. I do know I think it was like you had to get a kill while Promethean Vision was activated. And I think there was another one that was like you get a kill while in camo, where active camo, I think. I don't actually know. But those 2 achievements never came out. I always wanted to release them anyway, just, for and giggles. But I could never find where I did with the footage, and I think I actually deleted them. But, I Thrust at Thee was the first ever Achieve episode. I thought it did really well. And it really set the bar for what I wanted to do. But the bar quickly got raised when I did episodes 2 and 3. Episode 2 and 3 was Geometry Wars 2, Treaty Part 1 and 2. Treaty was actually filmed on the day before the 4th of July in 2012. Or not 2012, 2013, I'm sorry. The achievement had me playing King. And in King, you have to go through into like these circles. And that's the only place you can shoot. But I couldn't kill anybody in that mode. The achievement says without killing anybody, you have to activate 30 of those circles, those zones. And it was just so hard, like, going in and out and just trying to avoid all these other enemies. And there were 2 types of enemies. There were the regular diamonds that would come after you. But then there would be, like, these purple spinny wheels of death that would just sort of, like, glide and stuff. And you would just not pay attention and just, like, hit them. It was so difficult. Like, it took me 2.5 hours to actually film Treaty from start to finish. And I had the video edited. When I had it edited, I had it cut down into like, however long it was. But it could easily have taken up like 2 episodes, which it did. But it could have easily have been one long episode. And I was actually debating if I wanted to do it, divide it up into 2 episodes. Because I never before, because this was the second episode of Achieve, and Achievers are the only ones where I do part videos. Up until I started doing Let's Plays in a longer format. But Achieve, I was really debating if I wanted to do 2 parts. I really wasn't sure if I wanted to be 1 part. But I decided to go with the 2-parter because I kind of like the way the shorter version is. People want to go and they want to watch a video for a little bit of time, like 5 minutes or something, and they just want to laugh. And that's what I provide to them. And it also is good for me because the part 3, or not the part 3, but the part 2 is also another week that I don't have to go out there and film. Because filming achievements, especially now, have been very difficult because I've done a lot of the harder achievements with a lot of the games that I do have, and it's just so hard trying to pinpoint what next achievement will be good for another episode. But I think I got a good amount planned out for now. Treaty was also good with setting the bar for the way achieves were going to be, because it helped me say, all right, when I play achieves, I go after the challenging achievements, not the ones that are simply easy. So I'm going to get angry at a lot of this, and a lot of times I do get angry. Some of these achievements that I go after, of the 30, right now at the time of this recording, I have 30 episodes that I've already filmed. 28 have come out. But there are so many of them that have just had me just furiously angry. Some of those furiously angry ones I've done 2 parts for, but some of them are, I can get angry, but it would be a short amount of time. Like, for example, Peggle 2 was a very frustrating one, but it was 1 episode. But yeah, Treaty definitely set the bar at saying, alright, achieves are going to make you angry, and they're going to make you rage. Episode 4, Grand Theft Auto 4, Rolled Over. This achievement had you make your car roll over 5 times in a row. At first, I took this achievement and I went into the multiplayer, and I did that for hours, and it was actually divided up into several days. In the video, I made it seem like it was 2 days, but it's actually several days of the multiplayer, and then finally when I realized, wait, I can't get the achievement in the multiplayer, let me go into the single player and try it. And then I was like, oh, well, that sucked, because I actually did research, and I found out that you can only get it in the single player. So that was a day after I did it when I was doing the regular. The thing about this episode was that it almost didn't come out. Number one, it was actually the episode that, obviously, if you play Grand Theft Auto, any Grand Theft Auto game, you know that there is some really vulgar language that is said from the characters, from the NPCs in the game, more particularly when the cops are coming after you. And that was the moment where I said that because I always censor my videos, and the reason why I censor my videos is because I know my grandmother watches my stuff, so I don't want her seeing me saying these words, so I do bleep them out, even though she pretty much, she's not an idiot, so she can figure out what I'm saying, but for me, I feel better just by censoring it. I don't look like a complete idiot. But in the game, there are some words that are said, and I don't know if you've noticed it, but with other games that have come out, or with other videos that I've come out with, I've decided to not censor the gameplay footage, and it was actually because of this video, because it was so difficult. I was actually crashed upside down, and one of the cops said he said the F word, and then he shot a gun through the roof of the car and killed me. And I raged like you didn't believe, but I wanted to use that clip, but because the one cop dropped a bomb, I decided not to use it, and I got so upset at myself for not using that. And that's why any other achievement that I went after, or any other video that I did, if the NPCs say a word, they're saying the word, I'm not. So I don't really care if that makes it into the video. Another thing about Rolled Over was that it was another video that, because I didn't want it to do 2-parters back to back, and it very well could have been a 2-parter, but I cut it down to about almost 5, no, it was almost 6 minutes, I believe. It was actually the longest video that I ever came out with up until that point. Obviously, I've come out with longer ones, but another thing about that is that it almost didn't come out because I didn't think it was funny. I remember when I played the game, I had a huge pounding headache, and I didn't want to put it out because every time I put it out, I was just like, I knew I wasn't having fun while I did it. I had a headache. My voice, I really wasn't like energetic. I was very like, oh, I did a jump. Oh, nailed it. But it was really like, I feel like I wasn't having fun doing it, which I wasn't, because I had a really bad headache and I almost didn't come out. But I decided to suck it up and I put it out. And then one of my friends that I worked with actually came up to me and said, don't stop making these. These is extremely funny. And even though I may not find myself funny, I know other people may find me funny. So I decided that even sometimes when I don't think that some of these episodes are good, I might as well just put them out. Episode 5 was Far Cry 3 Island Liberator, which has you liberating all the outposts throughout the game. I had to do a little bit of setup for this. Number one, I wanted to get all the outposts in, because the game is divided up into 2 islands, more specifically. The one island you start out with, I got all the outposts in there. But then there's the second island that doesn't have you relieving any outposts, and that gets unlocked about like closer to the end of the game. So what I did was I went and I took over all the areas of the top island, and then I went to the other island and I did like all the viewpoints. I unlocked the whole map. I had the whole thing planned out. And then I recorded the video, which was actually, a lengthy video. It actually took me I think it took me like 2 days because I divided it up. And I just went after each and every single outpost one by one by one by one by one by one by one. And I usually don't like doing collectibles, and this was sort of like a collectible. And even though it was a collectible, it was still like I had to kill enemies to do it. It wasn't like go to this point, collect this thing, and then go run over there and collect that thing. Hold down X for a certain amount of time so you can pick it up. No, for this, it was like you're going to have to kill enemies. And so there were some rebel outposts that actually had me get into some trouble there. This episode was actually one of the episodes that I got lucky with because I went through and I cut down all the funny parts. And when I was done cutting down all the funny parts, it actually was a reasonable sized length. And I didn't cut anything out. It was actually also the last video I ever did that had like the graphics and the sound bites in it. Like I don't even remember if Far Cry 3 had the sound bites anymore. I knew it was a lot easier for me to edit the video because during the time I was editing Let's Plays the same exact way. And it was just really difficult for me to just go ahead and say, alright, I'm going to edit the video this way, I'm going to edit this video the same exact way. If you play through a game for 7 hours and have to cut that down to be 10 minutes total, each of them being a 5-minute episode, that is some hard work you have to put in, and that's why Achieves have become so tedious now. Not tedious, I still have fun going after the achievements, and I still have fun with the final result of the video that comes out, but it's so annoying when I have to sit there and I have to go through 7 hours of footage and cut them down to be 2 5-minute episodes. It's really difficult, and it would have been even more difficult if I had to add in graphics and I had to add in sound bites, so I decided to just do away with it after Far Cry 3 Island Liberator. But that was one of the videos that that I actually was surprised with because of how funny it was. I found it to be a lot more enjoyable than you would think. And it actually is, it actually isn't the only one, but I believe that it was the last video that reached under 4 minutes. The Far Cry 3 Island Liberator was 3 minutes and 50 seconds. And then I don't think any other video after that was... No, hold up, I lied. There is one. Episode 12 was 3 minutes and 56 seconds, but that was the last one. I don't like it when my achieves are under 4 minutes. I try to get it above 4 minutes. And there are some episodes that got really close. Like, I got really worried if they were going to be over 4 minutes. And then I would have had to go back into the video and try to cut up another funny part. But, I think that there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 videos that had been under 4 minutes. For Achieves, anyway. I know there were a lot of 3-minute videos that were for Let's Plays, but not anymore. Let's Plays are about 10 minutes long, so... Alright, so this is Behind Achieve, part 1, I guess you could say. This was episodes 1 through 5. The next time we do this, we're going to be going after episodes... Hold on. We're going to be going after episodes 6 through 10. Episode 6 is Halo 4 Last Man Grinning. Episode 7 and 8 was Call of Duty 4 Mile High Club. Episode 9 was Double Agent, Splinter Cell Double Agent for The Invisible Man. And Episode 10 was Splinter Cell Blacklist for Lethal Versatility. And this is going to be an interesting episode because there's a lot of stories for these 5 Achieve episodes. So until the next time, guys, thank you for watching. Goodbye.